What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today what I want to break down is how I sleep inside that guy right there. And so what we're going to talk about today is the setup that I use for sleeping in my truck, because it allows me to travel all over the country for tournaments. So I'm going to break all that down right now. So we're just kind of freelancing with the camera today because we're on the road. We are here in Florida, actually. We're going to be fishing the Harris chain. It got me thinking when I was at my brother's house because his girlfriend actually told me to make a video about this. So let's talk about how I sleep inside of this thing and how I make it super efficient to travel at the lowest possible cost that you can physically have when you're on the road, because everybody knows this life gets expensive. But if you do the proper things and you are willing to give up a few things, you can actually live super, super cheap. So first things first, I do sleep out of my truck. This is my buddy Jake Bigelow's truck. He's out there smashing them right now. But I do sleep in my truck, and no, I really don't shower. If I do shower, I shower in the lake with soap in my boat, and I will have a towel in my boat and I'll jump in, but obviously we're in Florida, so I'm not going to do that here. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about. The second thing is, what I did is I actually have a full-size mattress in the back of this. Not a full size, it's a twin. It is a full-size twin. It's the exact same bed that I have at my house at home, but in a smaller version, and I keep it in here. The second thing is I have a few pillows, a sleeping bag, and one light blanket, because it does get hot on some of these places, so I keep the light blanket for if it gets hot, sleeping bag for when it gets cold. I actually have outlets in the back of here, if we can see that right there, that allow me to charge my phone in the back, as well as the cap is actually carpeted on the surface of it. You can see I hang actual air fresheners right from above up there. And so what I do is I have a light up top inside of there that actually allows me to turn it on. So my entire cap has power, and these windows on the side actually fold out. So that way, if it rains, I can actually open the windows on the side. To power my boat, which is the biggest question that I get, how do I power it? I actually have a generator right here. This is a Power Horse 2300i, and to fill that every night, it costs me, with gas prices right now, I just filled it up, it's like $2.83. So that's $2.83. And then I also have, before I walk away, I have a cooler in the back right there. You can see right at the top of there, I have a cooler in the back that I fill up with ice, and I fill it up every 2 days or so, and so that cost me about 10 bucks. So for 2 nights, it cost me around 15 bucks to sleep in this thing. So right there up front, if you're staying in an Airbnb or you get a hotel room, that's like 100 bucks a night, 90 bucks a night, something like that. So right there, I'm already 75 bucks down, and it only gets worse and worse and worse as you go. And so you can see how I save a ton of cash that way. I keep a few extension cords for the power in the boat, and these pull-out drawers that you're actually going to absolutely love. So to store all of these things, I actually have decked out drawers in the bottom of my bed right here. So you can see those actually pull out. I don't want to pull that one too far because my laptop's right there, but slide this over. These puppies come all the way out, and they run the full length of the bed and go all the way up into there. And you can see it's super easy to store things then. I can keep everything out of the way. I keep extension cords up in there. I keep all of my cooking supplies, which you're gonna see next. Keep all of my food, all of my waters, that kind of thing. And I can put all of my tools and stuff up in there, and it keeps it out of the way. All of my grease, all of my tools, like I said, keeps it up out of the way to where I do not have to worry about it. And so that is super, super nice. I'm gonna brighten it up right there. It's getting a little dark out. But that is where I keep all that stuff. You can see I got my camera gear out right now because I'm actually shooting this video. And so now let's go to the actual truck itself, and let's show you some of the things that I actually keep inside of here, because that can be kind of, you know, iffy. So I keep all of my tools and my tackle in there, or not my tools, my tackle, sorry. My extra tackle, for the most part, I keep inside of this big deal. Don't ask me what perfect duckers are. I have no idea. My buddy RJ actually gave me that nice big bin. This is extra camera gear, lights for shooting. Then I have a stand, a seat, because Bassmasters makes you carry an extra seat for these tournaments. In case you have a co-angler that needs a seat, you have to have a seat available for them. But they don't say exactly what kind of seat you have to have. So instead of a nice pedestal seat, they get one of these babies that sits super low to the ground, but I have a post that goes up about 1.5 feet. But that's the best way to actually store it, because then I can just casually lay that up on top there and put the post in one of those pull-out drawers in the back. My co-anglers don't like it, but I like it because I don't need the seat. So now we're gonna walk over to the other side. Oh, and I keep my clothes all up inside of there. I have a sectional piece in there that actually allows me to keep like my underwear, my socks, my pants, my shirts all separate, and it actually is like really low to the ground, and so that's really, really nice. So I have my bed, then I have my clothes with another duffel bag on top of it with my hoodies and my rain gear, then I have my cooler, and then I have my generator, so that way I can access that. And we got this super cool kid over here doing tricks on a bike. So then I keep my grill right inside of here. And then I also have a bunch of Black Rifle coffee on standby right there, because you always have to have coffee in the mornings. And so the best way to do that is, because I don't have a coffee maker with me, because it would be really, really inconvenient to try to make coffee, is I actually have espresso cans. And if you've never tried the Black Rifle espresso cans, you really, really need to, because they are amazing. The next thing I want to talk about is maintenance on the road. So this is an oil pan. I got it at AutoZone for like $3 or something like that, and I keep extra oil in here, just a little bit, not a ton. But the biggest thing that I want to talk about with that is AutoZone will actually have oil pans in the back of the store. And so what you can do is actually change your oil in their parking lot, and then take that full oil pan and give it to the people inside, and they'll go empty it out for you. And sometimes if you're super nice, they'll even clean it for you. So that way you can have that and get rid of that oil right away, so that way you don't have to worry about it or actually store any used oil in the vehicle, which is super, super nice. Keep some extra drinks and stuff on the floor right down there. So the next thing that I want to talk about is where you keep extra rods, because some people have nice rod tubes up on top of their vehicle up here, but I do not, as you can see. And so what I do is I actually take my rods and keep them in the passenger seat. Let's brighten this up so you can see a little better. I actually have my rods in the passenger seat, and when they fall, they sit super nice across the back right through here. And then I keep my toiletries right here, a couple extra boxes, and then a YOLO Power Tech stick for my GoPros and stuff. But that's the best way that I've found to store my extra rods, so that way they're not in the way. It just kind of affects my ability to have passengers when I'm out there on the water, or passengers while I'm driving around. So it's kind of a perfect excuse to not have to take anybody with me. So as you can see, the whole truck is really, really packed full. I try to store what I can inside the boat, and when I take that cover off, I will actually roll it up and put it on the front seat inside of there, because that's the only place that I found that I can actually store that when it's wet and be okay with it. And I actually set it on top of the rods, so that way it allows it to drain down the rods and not get into anything else like on my seat or anything like that. And so everything else kind of gets stored intermixed with that kind of thing. I will take my graphs off at night and I put them inside the truck, so that way they're in a safe place and not just out and about for anybody to grab. Put my cover on every night to allow it to air out and allow to cover all of my stuff, so that way I don't have to worry about that. But overall, that is where I keep all of my gear. If you guys haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button to follow along with the content. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless. Marisha, thank you for the video idea, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.